Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I have to make some bread. I am out of bread. So I am taking a recipe. Here I go playing again, right? We are going to add 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour in a bowl. We're going to be mixing flours up. No, just put 4 cups in. 4 cups of all-purpose flour instead. So that's 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to add 1/4 of a cup of whole wheat. That'll cover for the bees that we're missing. And we are going to get flaxseed ground, I should say, instead of grounded, you'd think it would. And we're going to add 1/2 cup of this. Now, most people don't know that flaxseed is high in omega-3s that we need. So this is a very, very good bread. The whole wheat will make sure we get the vitamins and the minerals. And the flaxseed, make sure we get those omega that we need. Well, they're actually called omega-3 fatty acids. Salmon is very high in it, but this bread will also, if you don't like salmon, you can make this bread. Now, after I get done making this bread, we will take a regular bread recipe, which will be, let's see, when can I do this? Today is Monday. I do this Tuesday. I'll try to do this tomorrow or Wednesday. I will take a regular bread recipe and I'll show you how you can use flax flour and get your omega-3s. That way, if you don't like salmon. I have one son that's not overly fond of salmon, but he's going to eat it. I'm sorry, I'm not a short order cook in the house. If I'm going to cook something, I'm cooking it for me. If you're in the house, you're going to eat what I cook. I was raised that way. I hear parents say, well, my child doesn't like this. I said, if I told my mother that, my face would have been ripped off. I mean, she would have slapped it from one side and it'd be on the floor. My mother didn't tolerate that. Now we have to get my cultures out in a bigger bowl, because this bowl with all the flour that we just mixed together, this is going to, just put a plate over this, because this is the flour we're going to be using to make this bread. It's already mixed very well. I don't think I need any more flours in here, do I? Is there something I missed? No, I didn't miss anything. I always call these my bread bowls. They're ceramic and glazed. These are so heavy and they just hold the heat very well. If I try using metal, glass, or something, my yeast rebel against me. They will not grow. They let me know they're not happy with me. All right, we need 2 cups of the cold liquid culture. This is all I've got of my liquid culture. Well, if I have to make some sponge, I'll do it. Okay. That's for the birds. So see, you can make your food very nutritious. I was thinking about it. I'm not telling you You don't have to cook the recipes I have if you don't like them, but you can take your food by watching how I make mine more nutritious. You can make yours more nutritious. Come on. I am emptying this out. I'll show you how to, if you have a sponge culture, how to make a liquid culture, because that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. I did it. 2 cups. That, well, anyway, I'll show you how you can change a sponge culture into a liquid culture, so don't worry about it. That's a lot of culture. All right. Okay. Okay, I got my liquid culture, every bit of it. So we'll make some more. It's very easy to make. Once you have a sponge culture, it's no problem. Just want to make sure the water's cold. Not quite. A 1/4 of a cup of water to this. And we're going to add 1 cup of our flour mixture. And we're going to beat this, and then we're going to put it to the side in a warm place till this evening. And I will let you know how much we're going to add this evening and what we have to do. We've got to get this going first. Okay. I will be right back. I'm going to go put this in the dining room where it's warm. Okay, this is my sponge culture. Now you're going to leave, well, let me take care of this first and I'll read what we do. This evening, sometime, you're going to add 1 more cup of the flour mixture and a 1/2 cup of water, beat it and put it back, and then tomorrow morning we'll be making this bread. All right, so we just put a plate over this, and where am I going to put it? Leave it just like this, it'll be fine. Okay, now that we've got that done, let me mark my page. I don't mark these pages, I will never find anything. I am really bad about that. Then I have to go through all my books trying to find it. Okay. I need my scale to take care of this, so let's see. This is my sponge culture. This is my liquid culture. Okay. I have to set the scale. Today's Monday. Tomorrow I have to do my corn flour culture. Okay, this is the bread. I'm sort of setting everything up. If you really want to know what I'm doing, that is exactly what I'm doing. All right. First off, you're getting bread flour. You're going to measure out 1.5 ounces. Okay, that's important. All right. So you need a scale. What you're going to do, let me get the scale back now that I'm getting things moving. Well, slightly moving. Bend you down. All right, I have my sponge culture here. I have to beat this down first. Okay, here's my liquid culture. As you can see, I've emptied it. I'm going to take some of this sponge culture and I'm going to add it into my liquid culture bowl. Come on. Yes, they do get messy at times. How much? I'm putting in about this much, okay? I need one more thing, my funnel. All right, pour the 1.5 cups, 1.5 ounces, of bread flour into this. Okay, into your liquid jar where you don't have any. Now what you're going to put is 2 ounces of water. That's it. And you're going to beat this. It's going to take you about 3 days to build it back up, okay? So you use the same measurements I just gave you, 1.5 ounces of flour to 2 ounces of cold water. Put it in and beat it up until it's smooth. You can see I've beaten it till it's smooth. And that's it. Now, that's how you do your liquid culture. Now, sometimes you use your sponge culture up. Yeah, it happens sometimes. You have liquid culture, but you run out of let's say we run out of sponge culture. So, if that happens, you take some of your liquid culture, and what you do to it is, you'll notice the ratios are different. And that's the secret of a liquid and a sponge culture. All what you add is 2 tablespoons of flour, bread flour, and 3 tablespoons. This is and 1.5 ounces. I use the same measurements, 1.5 ounces of water. It's just a little less than 2 tablespoons. And that is the ratio to change a sponge culture. I mean a liquid culture into a sponge culture. So if I run out of one, I just change the ratios around. That's why I use a scale for the liquid. It's 2 ounces of water and 1.5 ounces of flour. And for this, is the same thing. I changed it around. That's all you have to do. This is 2 tablespoons, okay? So what I do is that I put 2 tablespoons of flour into my sponge culture, bread flour, and then I put a little less water into it to keep the sponge culture at its culture. A little less than that. And I stir it up and let it grow. Before I was adding too much and I was just with too much discard. Now, when these jars get full, and I'm not making any bread, and my cultures are just up to the top and to the rim of this, I put them in a jar. I mix them up, the excess, and I put it in a jar, and I call it my discard. My discard culture is usually what you'll hear me say. And what I do is I use that in muffins, biscuits, buns. I use it for coating anything I'm going to fry that says flour. I'll use that in like cutlets and stuff. I'll put this over it, the discard, and use it in that area. So none of this is really wasted at any time. But if you don't cook, you can find yourself backed up with a lot of culture. And that's how you can convert one to the other. If you run out of one, you don't have to start at the beginning. If you run out of all your cultures, you have to start all over, and you'll have to catch the microbes in the air and start from scratch. But this is how I convert one to the other. I even write my instructions on the lid there so I can read them. If I forget what jar I'm in, I mark them. This is my sponge, this is my liquid. So as you can see, the sponge is thicker and it takes less water to the flour. Be it a very little, the difference makes a difference. And if you notice, the liquid has more water than flour when you go to feed it every day. So it's a minor little thing, but it makes a big difference when you're going to make breads, because breads are set. If you want to change a bread recipe and say, look, I want to make it sourdough, you have to be able to compensate for that water that a tablespoon, when you're adding more, just 1 tablespoon will change the water ratio right away. So you have to be careful that you follow through on this all the time. Okay, so that's it till this evening. And I already told you what you have to do, and I'll see you tomorrow morning and we'll finish this bread up. So take care.